We could add another button, or we could even do it without a button if we wanted. You can make it so that whenever you click, it just becomes editable. Or you could make it so that there's an edit button. If you do just make it so that when you click it becomes editable, just make sure that there is some clue to the user that that will happen. Like maybe when you hover over it, there's a border around it, something like that. So how do we make it editable? Oh, wow. How'd you figure that out? So there's an attribute that you can just stick on something, like this span, called contentEditable. You can set it to true. Refresh. And now I can just click in here and start changing things. But that's actually not persisting yet, right? That just makes us able to type in there. So what do we do about that? Again, there are a couple ways we could do this. If we do just want to make it so clicking in there is sufficient, what would be the easiest way to watch for the change to have occurred? An event listener for what event? So you haven't actually made the change yet, right? So blur would work. As soon as we click out, click anywhere else, we just listen for that to happen, and then we make the change. It's the array we need to change, right? That works. We could also add an edit button. And I think I'm going to do the edit button way because there's kind of a little trick that is sort of fun that I'll use. Either way works. So I'm going to, before the star button here, I'm going to add another one. Button with a class of edit and a class of button. And inside there, I want a child that is an I with a class of FA and a class of FA something. Let's see what we get if we search for edit. Any obvious edit things? Ooh, pencil, square, pencil, stuff like that. I like pencil. FA pencil. And we could actually use an attribute selector inside Emmet and say aria hidden equals true. And notice I've got that fancy new feature in the latest version of Visual Studio Code that actually shows me what this is going to expand to. Very nice. Just put in some line breaks where I want them. And we have a new button. I think maybe I'd like that to be green, which was success. Edit button success. No, never mind. Not yet. It's a lot of blue right in a row. I'm kind of tempted to either to change the appearance of this or move delete there. Maybe if I change fave button to, what was it, warning? And then just tweak this background color a little bit, like CSS. Make this the background color. Swap the background colors and border colors here, basically. See how that looks. I'm all right with that. They're still pretty similar, but That's okay. So what I want to do is not make it content editable right off the bat, but only make it content editable once I click that button. So we will add an event listener, of course, to our button, just like the others. Back in our JS, we're adding all these. What's one more? This time it is button edit. And I'll call it this.edit. So let's see what we can do there. You could call it edit flick instead of edit if you want. Once again, it's receiving the flick as the first argument and then the event. And then what do we need? We don't really need the whole LI. What we need is that span that we're going to make editable. So we could get the LI and then search inside the LI for it. That could work. So once again, grab the list item. And then I'll grab the name field, which would be list item dot query selector dot flick dash name. That mini map is a new feature that I actually am not caring for at the moment. Where is that? That is taking up too much space. Get that thing out of my face. It's covering up my code. All right, so we've got that. Now, if we were to grab that span and fiddle with it in the console for a minute, let's inspect it on Lost World here. And notice something when we inspect it. At the end here, it says equal equal $0. What that means is in the console right now, $0 is the thing we're currently inspecting. Very, very handy. If we select a different element, that becomes $0, and $1 is the previous thing. Nice little feature of the developer tools that comes in really handy when you're trying to do kind of stuff we're trying to do. So the span is $1. So we say $1 content editable. Okay, we see content editable. We see is content editable. And text content. Is content editable as a function? Oh no, it is just a property. Don't have to do that. Cool. True or false? Because what is just plain content editable right now without the is? Oops. Also true, have I not refreshed the page since I took that out? No. Well, let's make sure. Okay, here's the flick name, $0, content editable, inherit. So that's the default value if you don't set it to true or false. But is content editable will always return true or false. So that tells you whether it's actually editable right now. So here's what I want the button to do. If it's content editable, I wanted to make it not editable again. So if name field dot is content editable, I'm just going to put a comment in here for right now. Make it no longer editable. And save changes. Else we need to make it editable, and that's easier for us to test. So we'll do it first. So name field, content editable, not is content editable, we'll set to true. Should actually change the value of the property. Use content editable itself, not is content editable, that's read only. So I'll see what that does. Refresh. Not editable right now. I'm clicking. Nothing's happening. Click the button. Then click in here. Yeah, it's editable now. Seems like we should probably focus it once we make it editable, right? So name field dot focus. The method focus. Refresh. Click this. And yeah, it puts our cursor in there. Good. And we said when we click it again, we want it to stop being editable. So that seems easy enough. Name field dot content editable equals false. Let's refresh that. Now it's editable. Now it's not. Editable, not. But what would be really cool is if the icon actually changed. So when we click edit, it changes to look like it's going to save something. So we should also grab our font awesome element from the page. So I'm going to say const icon equals event.currentTarget. Oh no, well event.target may or may not be the icon. It depends on where on the button we click. So current target we know will be the button. So that's dependable. So on current target, I will call query selector i.fa. So an I element with a class of FA, we know that'll be our font awesome thing. So now when we make it editable, we can also start messing with the icon. So icon.classList remove FA pencil. And I think we can do better than the floppy disk. It's so out of date at this point. Let's see if it suggests anything else for save. Floppy, blah, blah, blah. Fine. I want to... I think a check mark would be better in this case. FA check. Let's just see how it looks. Everyone still knows what that floppy icon means, but it makes no sense to continue using that these days. Everyone knows that's save, but people don't even know what that means. Right. So let's see how this looks. And here's something else I'm going to do. I'll remove FA pencil from the icon, add FA check to the icon, and on the button itself, let's do this. Const button equals event.currentTarget. And then we can just make this BTN, make this BTN as well. So we can shorten those. And then down here, I can say btn, add class list add success. Turn it green. Let's check it out. Okay, refresh. Hit that. Yeah, I like it. That's pretty obvious. That's going to save your changes. So now we should do the opposite when we make it no longer editable. So we'll want to add FA pencil back, remove FA check, and remove success. But I want to remove FA check before I add FA pencil. Refresh. Yay, 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 yay. I dig it. It still doesn't save anything. It's pretty though. We do need to save, but first we have to make sure that the actual item in the array gets changed. Right now we are only changing the DOM with contentEditable. So when we make it no longer editable, we should also update. Remember, we're actually passing the flick in as an argument. So if you say flick.name equals name field dot not value, even though it's content editable, it's not actually a form input. So it would be the text content, because that's what we're actually editing. Then we can call save. And let's see about that. Refresh, edit this, add colon, Jurassic Park, save, refresh, and it's still there. Refresh. Beautiful. Yay, we made it editable. Edit existing flicks.